Okay, so I don't know about you guys, but I just started to realize that my deck building prompts also is basically just Taskmaster, but Vanguard to a certain extent. I don't know what to do with that idea, so we'll see how it goes along. But this is our What is Cooking segment, and we are going to be going through the deck prompts that I posted this week. And next week I got another one too as well. It's already up as well. Join our Discord server, which you can find the links in the description box below. If you're watching this on replay on YouTube after I cut out the video from there. And yeah, you can find it there and you can take part in it. It's in the deck building station over here, and you can see the various prompts that I put up over there. So let's get to it. So make Cap as Taskmaster. See how much points we accumulate. So that's an idea. We'll see what we do for that. So maybe halfway through, so we can start some sort of like a Taskmaster championships or whatnot. So yeah. Regardless, today's prompt or this week's prompt is build me a standard deck that broke your heart and tell me why. If you saw the thumbnail of this or so, that's pretty much where it came from there. So yeah, we are going to be looking at a few decks. So we got a good few submissions. I'll try my best not to read out like cards, although I'm raw reacting to it. I'm gonna be raw reacting to all the cards in there. So I usually like to do the readouts so that you guys can get a full context of what it is. So, and also for me to learn too as well. But I am not going. But I'll see whether I can cut it down also, so that I can fit more of your decks in as possible rather than cut out a few things. So I may try to avoid reading certain things like say the right deck and everything or whatnot. So but anyways, we will proceed. The deck codes are all there, so you guys can follow on with the deck codes as we go along. So yeah, we'll start with the first one also, and this one is from Edric, who you usually see in my YouTube chats or whatnot also. However, his reasoning is plain deck is paid and Yu-Gi-Oh gameplay, fun time play she, but the line is not straightforward. This is a Michu deck essentially, and I don't really want to say much because English is not your first language. But you really need to be very descriptive of what you're saying because nobody can really understand what's going on over here. Nevertheless, let's take a look at the deck also that he's talking about. So let's proceed. So yeah, it's a Michu deck as I mentioned as well. However, this one is running with the Suisei and Sakura Miko right line because those are replacements for Michu essentially. So yeah, you can see that this is actually regarded as the first Vanguard for Michu. And Suisei is considered as the Great One Michu, which you can see there. Sakura Miko is considered as the second grade. So and you see going down also that eventually right, Sakura Miko right is also replacement card for Michu. Is the ace there, and then the secondary is actually Suisei. And the way that the Michu deck works also is that Nokno, which is actually originally the company glitter unit for Michu, would take the Vanguard spot. So and in this case, so it'll be Suisei that actually will be coming into the Vanguard circle to attack, and after that swap back. Then it goes to the soul and then swaps back with Michu proper. So right, this one is playing with the dress up Michu as well. Which will be that when this one is placed by riding on top of the Great Tree Michu. Alright, you can search your deck for up to one card with Nokno in its card name, or up to one cannonball card, reveal it, put it into your hand, and if you search your deck, shuffle the deck, activate Persona Right. When set 11 came out also, and set 11 came with the new Great Tree Aces, we used, I think the term is still called that, so there are the Great Tree Strides. Essentially what happens is that when you ride onto the original unit on top also, then you basically bind the original unit, and after that you can have the original unit come back to the Vanguard circle, and it'll take the form there. So you can read the second skill there, so which is bind the original Michu from your soul, and then this unit gets then choose one of your opponent's regards, retire it until the end of the turn. Reduce this unit's cannonball ability by Soul Blast 2. Sorry. At the end of that turn, if this unit is on the Vanguard circle, write the count bar for the cost as rest. The cannonball ability is that when this unit attacks the Vanguard, Soul Blast 2, choose up to one of your opponent's regards and retire it, and this unit gets plus 10k to the end of the battle. With Michu, right, the cannonballs is the one that makes the most difference over here. Because these are the two cannonball cards that you can see over here. This one is mainly just for giving plus 10k until the end of the turn. And of course, also you choose one of your opponent's regards, and then the unit can accept and cannot stand during the stand phase as well. But the most important one is The more important one is the Grade 3 Cannonball here, which is Flower Cannonball, which replaces Michu's Cannonball ability by sending this card to the drop zone, and then you change the ability to when this unit attacks, so +2, choose 3 of your units and get plus 10k at the end of the turn. So it replaces the Cannonball ability with this ability instead, so which is basically like an extra persona right from there. So Miko is the old Michu actually. So yeah, Sakura Miko is actually the old Michu here. So with this being the first Vanguard, I'm not sure what the goal was here. In order to do so, you probably want to swap the two instead. So yeah. Miko is the old Michu there. So all right. So if you have all set up in your order zone, which is this one over here, which you will immediately find. All right. And then you draw card one, you draw a card, of your hand. It's card properties when you see attacks a Vanguard, so +2, choose one of your opponent's Vanguards retiring against plus 5k in the battle. It just changes to this one, which is plus 10k to 3 units. Essentially, you can V-formation through it also. And yeah. I can imagine the Yu-Gi-Oh play as such as so, but I have fought against the Michu deck before, and I have studied the Michu deck myself too as well. So this deck isn't that technical. You just need to really be familiar with what you do from here. Alright, so especially with the new Nokno that actually comes in with the particular set, so that we have a complete set 11. With the other glitter units too as well. This Nokno's ability is that if your Cannonball card was put into the order zone, from the order zone to the drop zone, this turn usually gets plus 10k. This one is basically a regard attacker, which is that if your Vanguard is greater card +1, and so +1 this unit gets when this unit attacks, if you drive check was performed for the battle of your regard attack this turn, if no drive check, sorry, then this unit performs drive check at the end of the until the end of the turn. This is supposed to be just another Nokno go from there. So, and of course, this Nokno will be that in the battle your Vanguard attacks, if your Vanguard is grade 3 or greater, card +1 and discard a card from your hand, stand this unit, and swap the positions of your Vanguard with this unit. At the end of the turn, swap the positions with the swap unit of the unit, the soul does not move. So essentially you just kind of move things around also. So yeah, after this unit attacks, then you go into this, and then after that you swap over with the other Vanguard for them. Soul does not move, so blah. It's blind soul charge is somehow right into the old one also, which is a little bit weird so that you don't put the old one in there, because the old one is what needs to get this started. So I think this one may have been built from there. What other support cards are in here? So Michu support, put a card for your hand in the soul, choose a Cannonball for your draw zone, put it to your hand, and your damage zone has 3 or more face down cards. If you did not counter charge, counter charge 1. So this one allows you to be able to counter charge back some of the cost that you will pay for Nokno. And then gets plus 10k as long as the Cannonball card was put from order zone to drop zone, which it will throughout. I think this one is the more recent one for it. When you see space regular circle, if all set up in your order zone, energy plus 3, top 7, search for one Cannonball, you really put your hand and shuffle your deck. If you have grade 3 Michu in his card name, put this card into soul. Search your deck for up to 1 glistening mood Michu and write it as stand, shuffle your deck. If your Vanguard was placed during the right phase this turn, or you persona roll this turn, you cannot persona roll at the end of this time. Sorry, until the end of the turn. So the idea is that you have a grade 3 with Michu in his card name, so you write up to this one, and then you go into this unit will just slide itself into it. Then you search the deck for up to 1 glistening mood Michu, which is this one over here. You just search for copy and go over, so which is a bit weird also, because all the more you want to actually put it the other way around. So Sakura Miko goes here and this one goes here. So I think this one was just maybe misbuilt. So from there, PGs, just 3 different PGs plus the Elementaria there as well. OT running with 8 crits, 3 draws and 4 heals essentially. And yeah, this is this is the Michu set deck, so as you can see there. So I wish you were more descriptive with your set story, but it is what it is. To me, I don't really see much about what it, because I took a bit of time to actually kind of know what the Michu deck is, because it was pretty interesting for me at the time, and I faced off against it a couple of times or so. That this is what I would want to see, and this is what I would expect to see. So yeah. Anyways, let's move on to the next deck. We have Curse of Archer coming back again with another collab deck. And he says there, so this broke my heart when I read the physical copy of the cards. It was really good until a few months ago when I checked and found out that the physical copies are misprinted hard, which turned it bad. So this one is the Record of Ragnarok deck. Let's pull up the decks or so. And these are the misprints in question. It's a bit sideways, so I apologize for that. I don't think I can rotate it. So this was the cards that have been misprinted. This is the PG. This one is Aphrodite, and this one is Regenfeld, as well as this one is Adam too. So the skills are there, and I think that the actual card itself, did not update in here. So Daddy and my father, please do not. Okay, so Zeus first Vanguard, and then it goes into Brunhilde, which the record Ragnarok also makes it so that for the grid 2 onwards, so it's where you started. So when you write up, so it's basically on your chance with what you want to do. Because the cards are a little bit hard to read, I won't go into the skills. You can look at the deck log yourself if you want to. But this is basically Adam, which is that when it's wrote upon by Father of all mankind, Adam, search there for up to one wife from Paradise Eve. Sorry, that was Eve, not Aphrodite. Call to Regard Circle and shuffle your deck. And this one is Adam himself, which has the Volinde ability, which I think it allows itself to actually be armed by a unit. I apologize for not rotating. It's okay. We will do what we can. So, card plus 1 and all of your regards gets plus 5k at the turn. When it's in attacks, if you have 2 or more regards, this unit gets plus 5k at the end of the battle. If you have 4 or more regards, this unit gets plus 10k instead of plus 5k. Alright, then the remaining grade 2s are here, which is that when it's in attacks, if your grade 3 or greater Vanguard of Adam is card name, it is card name or Valkyrie, this unit gets plus 5k at the end of the battle. If your Vanguard is a man or Valkyrie and your opponent's Vanguard is grade 3 or greater, this unit cannot be chosen by your card effects. If your opponent's Vanguard is grade 3 or greater, it is a man or Valkyrie, this unit gets plus 5k shield. So this is the first PG in question, so let's do a comparison. When this unit is put into Guardian Circle, choose one of your units and it cannot be hit until the end of the battle. If your hand has 2 or more cards, choose a card from your hand, discard it. I don't know why I'm reading a PG skill. But this one was basically, when this unit is put into your hand, discard a card from your hand. Choose one of your units and it cannot be by the end of the turn. If your hand is 2 or more, choose a card from your hand and discard it. I don't think it's updated, was it? Put a Guardian Circle, discard a card from your hand, choose one of your abilities that cannot be handed in the battle. If your hand has 2 more cards, choose a card from your hand and discard it. Oh, okay. Okay, I see. Discard a card from your hand. Cost this card from your hand, then choose a unit cannot be hit. If your hand has 2 or more, choose a card from your hand and discard it. So, you still have to discard regardless with that one also. Physical copy stands to discard 2, so which forces you to discard 2, and this one has been errata, so you can see the errata over there. So kind of charge 1 for Heimdall. Alright, so this one is Eve. So if your Vanguard is Father of all mankind, Adam, rest this unit, so charge 1. Choose one of your units with Adam in his card name, and this unit gets that unit gets this unit's power until the end of turn. And Eve here, if your Vanguard is Father of all mankind, Adam, rest this card, counter charge, so charge 1. Choose one of units with Adam in his card name, and that unit gets using the ability at the turn, increased by it at the time. So, comparatively speaking, physical copy states that your back row regard instead of center back row regard. So, it says the same back row regard circle regardless. So I'm trying to spot the difference here. So, but there might not be much differences. Might not be so, but I could be wrong for that. We're looking at Kane. Put this guy into soul and then choose one of these units with Adam his card name and plus 5k at the end of the turn. Probably mistake on my end also, but the grade 2 right line. Yeah, so alright, so Father of all mankind, this is a region left. Continuous, if this card is armed to a Vanguard, all the following abilities are active. Once per turn, so plus 2, draw a card. When your Vanguard is attacked, card plus 1, bind a 7 Valkyrie sister region left from your hand and increase or decrease the power of this unit armed with this card to match the power of the attacking unit until the end of the battle. So, region left, Father of all mankind, armed with all abilities, so must to draw a card when your Vanguard is attacked. Buy the 7 sister region left from your hand, and increase or decrease this unit's power armed with this card to match the. Okay. Increase or decrease. It's about the same actually. Oh, sorry. End of turn. This one says end of that battle. Yeah, there we go. There we go. End of turn. This one says end of turn also, which will make it so much more powerful. But then it's actually supposed to be end of that battle, which means that you have to keep binding it. So counter plus 1, I'm binding it. So yeah, I can see the heartbreak there. So this one is the grade 1 itself, which I think allows you to be able to this is a 5k at a turn at the end of the battle, return a boosted unit to your hand and such. So yeah, I think the last one that you put in was the grade 2, right? Yeah, we forgot to check this one. So when this is rolled upon by Father of all mankind, Adam, search your deck for up to 1 man's first wife Eve, call it to regular circle and shuffle your deck. When this unit is rolled upon by Father of all mankind, search your deck for up to 1 wife exiled from Paradise Eve, and called it to regard circle. So wife wife paradise from Eve, and this one is also exiled for paradise. So, yep, this one is wrong because it's not man's first wife. It's actually man exiled by paradise. So that's the errata there. So yeah, there's no first man's wife Eve. So you could not do it with the card as printed. So you have to go with what was actually supposed to be the case. So but yeah, I can absolutely see your deck actually I can see your deck absolutely just being quite butthurt. You can feel a little bit butthurt by it because of the misprints in question. Essentially, I can see it. Yeah, it's tough. It's tough to get around that. So. For some reason the collab set also was misprinted hard. So for some reason, yes, it was. So I remember those days. It was misprinted hard. I remember hearing a lot of erratas for the record of Ragnarok deck. So, which is mysterious, so as to say the least. But then again, who knows? Maybe it could be like a new translation team or so. They basically like had two different translations, I think, and then they only got the proper one at a later time. But it was too late by then. Somebody actually put in the wrong one instead at the time. So yeah. I mean, it is what it is, so nothing much can be done there. So, the second one that broke is another one for you as well, Curse of Archer. This second list broke my heart for being a good universal man's race supporter, but does absolutely nothing. So since there's nothing to accomplish, let's take a look. They had the auto ability turned into an icon. So I think I heard about that. So, but yeah, this one is the full Brunhilde deck. So again, record Ragnarok once more. Okay. We are seeing blah 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 blah. When this is brought up by riding on the choice of victory Brunhilde, which will be this one over here. Alright, then reveal the top card of your deck. If that card is grade 2 or less normal unit, is a man of Valkyrie, call it the Vanguard Circle. If not, put it at the top of your deck or into your soul. Discard a grade 3 or greater unit card with Brunhilde in its card name from your hand. This unit gets the skill. All of your men and Valkyrie get plus 5k power to the turn. When this unit attacks, card on +1. Choose a man of Valkyrie for your drop zone, call it the Vanguard Circle, and the call card gets plus 5k until the end of the turn. So, yeah, I mean, there's two different Brunhildes here, which you can switch over between the two. Card plus 1 and so plus 1 card with Brunhilde in its card name. Look at the top 7 cards of your deck. Choose up to 1 man and Valkyrie card from each among them. Call it the Vanguard Circle and shuffle your deck and put the rest of the bottom of the deck in any order. Shuffle the rest and put them in the bottom deck in any order. If your opponent's Valkyrie is grade, if your opponent's Vanguard is grade 3 or greater, so +1, choose one of your men or Valkyrie and they get plus 5k to the end of the turn. Alright, we see Adam already. This one is Lubu. Do not pursue Lubu. When this unit is boosted by a Valkyrie, this unit gets plus 5k to the end of the turn. The PG is we talked about already. When this unit is placed on the Vanguard or Vanguard Circle, search your deck for so +1, search your deck for up to 1 Valkyrie with the Volunda ability or up to 1 man. Reveal it, put it in your hand and shuffle your deck. If you put a card into your hand and this unit is on the Vanguard Circle, choose a card from your hand and discard it. So okay, this one is gold. When this is placed on the Vanguard Circle, man, color +1. Choose a Valkyrie with a different card name. With a different card name from this card. And grade equal to or less than your Vanguard from your drop zone, call it the Vanguard Circle. When this unit boosts a unit with Brunhilde in its card name, this unit plus 5k to the end of that battle. Devote yourself rank dits. When this unit boosts a Vanguard with Lubu in its card name, if your grade 3 or greater Vanguard with Lubu in its card name or Valkyrie, color +1 until the end of the battle, when your opponent will call cards from hand to Guardian Circle, they must call 2 or more cards at the same time. And of course, so we saw this reg left 2 already as well. So pretty underwhelming, I would say. So which is that I remember the record Ragnarok deck also was something that really caught people's eyes, and it felt like the start of something, especially since this was the first deck that I think had that had a simul release essentially. So record Ragnarok was both released in English and in Japanese at the same time, but the deck itself also wasn't really anything changing for the most part. It did cause quite a bit of confusion because of the way that you could customize the right deck, which is signature of Record of Ragnarok at the time, which is that your right deck can just be whatever it wants to be so long as it makes sense towards the rest of your deck build. So yeah, I mean, this one is focused more on the man race, basically, or having the man race, and just everything just basically all power. So, but I can imagine it being underwhelming. So the man side of the collab is just doing nothing. So yeah, I feel it too as I'm reading the whole thing. I'm not reading anything interesting. It's just power. The god side is doing something. So I would fairly say yes, that might be the case. So yeah, man's best friend, nothing there. So, and I can't help but feel that so that there's a bit of a short change here. So, which is it is what it is. So there's not much I can really add to it. So, okay, Ken. Let's move on to Enishi's one. So Enishi is I stopped Vanguard at a point in time in this series. And in return, I wanted to upgrade my Drajeweled deck, and this was this deck was my first deck since I've been coping is good, but it's just terrible due to the Masques form. Now, I have to say, Enishi is speaking my language. I never liked Drajeweled Masques, so I never really liked my Drajeweled Masques. It's confusing, and there's a Unica Baiko Masques deck later on as well. It's the same thing. It's the same thing. You guys have spoken for me in this as well. I didn't feel to submit either one of these two. So, but yes, topical that we're going to Drajeweled at this time also, because we just got Drajeweled boost earlier. So, but yeah, this one is basically going with the Drajeweled Masques deck as well. Again, I won't go through all the details over here, but the main thing to consider is actually Drajeweled Masques, which is this card over here. So this card can only be written on by a grade 3 with Drajeweled in its card name. By removing a Drajeweled in its different card name from this unit, from your hand, soul, or drop zone, then you choose 2 cards in your drop zone, and then you put them into soul. This you get +1 critical at the end of the turn. When this unit attacks a Vanguard, card +1, soul +4 cards with different grades. Choose 2 of your opponent's regards and retire them. Choose 1 of your opponent's Vanguards, and until end of turn, increase or decrease its power to 1. So it does the same thing as the original Drajeweled already does. So which is that. So +4 cards, except it doesn't have a counter blast cost to it, but the counter blast cost to it has been moved over from before. But essentially it's a choose one opponent's Vanguard's 30 increases power to 1. Your opponent's Vanguard's creature greater, this you get +1 critical. So a lot of ways. So the Masques deck is just basically a means to really just turbo straight into your Persona right at the time. So into your Persona right at the time to have your full field +10k, so where your opponent just starts sitting at grade 3, with not that many things going off. So because it used to be like a turn 4, turn 5 game. At that point in time, and if you're having turn 4, so before your opponent can get to that turn 4, so this comes into play, and that's really the main benefit of it all. So it's just different costs to pay for the same skill here, and the fact that you're playing with 2 additional copies, although they are the SIR and the what is that, CS01. So yeah. So yeah, just the fact that they are all arts, so it doesn't change the fact so that the Masques was basically just the abilities being rearranged. So we want having the removal of it also. And not to mention that while you may have the Mask of Hydrogam, this is not the Mask of Hydrogam. That's the Mask of Hydrogam, I should say, not Masanori. So yeah, the idea of the Masques deck also is that you're using the remove from game part from its drop zone in order to be able to write over. So Omnia Gruzio gave us the most accurate look as to how it's being used, which is that you would write into the normal version, and then you will Mask of Hydrogam, remove it from game. You move this card into the soul essentially, and then you just rewrite into the Masques, Drajeweled Masques at that time. So that was kind of like how you were supposed to, but to me, so it's kind of like the situation whereby you need this in order to pay for the remove from game cost, and you want to discard it as early as possible. But you continue to be writing onto this, so you don't have enough Mask of Hydrograms, so you can't really do that combination, which was essential for Omnia Gruzio, but the rest not so much. So, and I think I share your sentiments with this also, because this felt like an unnecessary step. It really felt like an unnecessary step, honestly, and it does so little. It changes very little, so it's extra steps, I feel. So honestly, extra steps. All right, and then just going with Risto Gala in there as your support grade 3. Cranium Burner, which was an excellent card that came out from set 10 later on before this. When this came out, so it was set 10. Yeah, it was a set 10 for this one. So it came out together with it. It's an excellent card actually. Rokugo, very standard, but but now we have Little Girl coming out right now. So this Rokugo and Little Girl will just either be best friends or like just go from there. So we want to add Gravidia as well. So let's not touch Gravidia. Let's not touch Gravidia Masques also, because Gravidia Masques was dead on arrival, straight up. So nobody knows what to do with that. So really. This one's going with Emposa as well, which is a very good support card that came with it. Falcon Performer, standard for the deck. You needed it in order to get your 4 into the soul. And Twin Marvel Dragon is just the staple for not just for what's her name? For Astorea, for Unica. But also helpful in Drajeweled too as well, so because all the cost ability is there. So yeah. But some way campus play so and it's scary so. I mean I can't say for certain so, but I know that not a lot of people really like the not a lot of people really like Gravidia Masques so. It may be scary, but I think a lot of people weren't big fans of it so, and they felt they could get more done with just Gravidia herself rather than with Gravidia Masques so. But I'm not sure. The fact that we're not talking about it so it goes to show so that Gravidia Masques really died. It really died so. A sad death so. I wish I could love this deck a lot more so. I agree. I wish I could love this deck a lot more too so. Okay, now let's move on to Seibaa, and yes, now we go into Baiko Masques, and thank you Seibaa for really talking about it. It was decent at Unica, then Baiko came along and the deck went from decently playable against quite a bit of decks to just DOA. Straight up. I love the Unica deck. I really love the Astoria deck. It was super fun. This is JP code by the way. So yeah, so Astoria, Unica, Baiko Masques so was just again extra steps. It's just straight up extra steps so for with the Mask of Hydrogram. So Mask of Hydrogram, extra steps that you have to go in so, and then you go into Unica. And after that, then what? As I found out later on so, you may have to consider riding onto Unica and then you change into Baiko Masques afterwards. So yeah, the difference between the two, right, is that we read this same grade 3 skill, which is that this unit can only be rolled upon a unit with a story in its card name, so it can't be the first Vanguard. It has to come in turn 4 or earlier, depending on your Mask of Hydrogram there. Then by removing a copy of the card with different name, from your soul, hand, or drop zone, right, and removing it from play, then you get to choose one of your opponent's regards and retire it, and then this unit gets +1 drive. When this unit attacks card +1, so +1. Then bind all critical triggers that you soul blasted for this cost, and then choose one of your regards, stand it, and then for every two critical units in your bind zone, critical triggers in your bind zone, then for turn this unit and that unit gets +5k. So ideally it's +20k, but it's usually only maybe like plus 5k, +10k, maybe 15k too as well. So for both those units. But Historical Unica so it has all the 40 abilities that comes out from it. You soul blast 3, bind all criticals that's been soul blasted for the cost, and then you can activate the following abilities based on the number. 1 or more, you get to retire 1. 2 or more, you get +1 critical. 3 or more, you get +1 drive. It's decent. This is pretty decent also, and a good and cards that came out later on also have been a good upgrade. Baiko Stella actually came out also, and it's actually a lot more better because you not only have the namesake of Astoria that you can also count towards the number of cards in the bind. It goes up to 5 and can provide a lot more, which also includes the multi-attack. This is on its own something, but this one gives you the multi-attack, and for what? For extra steps just so you can get that, and this unit gets +5k. It really was extra. Not to mention that you have to stuff in so you have to make space for Skull Camda. You have to make space for the Mask of Hydrogram in there. There's a lot of support cards that's already in there that allows you to be able to recover back, which includes a Counter Charge 1, and then your Vanguard can get plus another critical as long as you have an Astoria removed from play this turn, which you will do so if you go into this also. So yeah, and it gets +1 drive, and the critical comes from there. This thing has no innate critical, it's just an extra attack. So bleh. Is that my distant rival from another War Saber? Maybe. Maybe. So yeah. Then no matter what you put in there, so which also includes what was your name again? So Clean Sweep Dragon, yes, there we go. So Clean Sweep Dragon is a good generic card, so it allows you to actually put any 3 regards from your opponent's and your side also into the soul. You can debilitate your opponent's side, you can also add to your side also. Just put whatever critical triggers that you have in there that you need to put into there. If you can't get it in with Twin Marvel, you can't get in it with Schwartz Spada or Toradina. Yeah, you just basically have ways in which that you could ways in which you can actually support this also. But then when it goes into this, it's just a little bit extra step P in many ways also. Nagasapu Bese. I don't know what that means. So, so yeah. So yeah, I mean, there's not much I can really say more about it. So I feel like Stella was definitely a way to help Utica get more consistency. Exactly. So and Stella felt like a proper upgrade to Utica. More so than the Masques coming in also, because the Masques just swaps out what Utica did also. And you want to get extra critical, you gotta play extra card just to get a critical in there. So yeah, clean sweep. Oh, okay, clean sweep dragon, got it. Get it. All right. So yeah. I mean, I have no clue how to make this deck work. I might have to try and figure out in DNAs too. But for now, I don't know what to say. So because Baiko Masques really. The Masques deck so just really kind of and this is also where I start to falter a little bit also in my belief in like in my not say interest in Vanguard, more towards the sense that this really brought down just like enjoyment of Vanguard to a certain extent. Masques wasn't really fun if you're not playing anything that topped. If you're not playing anything that topped, so it's Vanguard wasn't really too fun for me so. And yeah, that's not much that I can say there so yeah, I mean, it is what it is. I do like the build here, so this build is pretty interesting. I might just copy this for day days or so, but regardless or so, it really like these two really enveloped everything that I really like disliked about the Mask of Hydrogram. The Masques era was a little bit sad so if you weren't playing competitive at the time. So yeah, and even if you were, so I think it was just mainly like Zorga Masques only. Zorga Masques is really the only thing that was stopping at the time or so. Out of all the Masques. Everything else, nope. Didn't get any. Alright, so let's move on to the next. We already got 3 more left, so let's take a look at it. So it's Kazuo. So this deck is that make me cry all the time I see this deck. I have a close friend that always plays Vanguard with me. He left this world, or should I say he... Okay. I will not say when, but this deck appeared in YouTube anyway, and I don't want the deck. I don't want the people who read this have a problem with YouTube. But last thing I remember about him is that while he was trying this deck. So okay, let's take a look. So quite personal, but I appreciate you for sharing it as it is. So it is a Nirvana deck essentially. All right, and yeah, we're going with the original Nirvana here. So this is pretty old actually. This is pretty old. This is like season like BT02. So idea better this unit attack color +1, so +1. Choose one of your opponent's front row rear guards, retire it. If your opponent's back guard is struck by the Divine Dragon Nirvana, choose up the grade 0 card from your drop zone and call it the rear guard circle. I'm surprised that Urger is not here because it's set to right. Urger was actually the main thing or so. But yeah, this one was basically BT01 such or so. We're going in with Valiente in there. Which the overdress ability allows you to actually put this on top of a grid or less card in overdress state or over the trickster itself. This isn't about how bad the deck is. This is just about your story behind a deck that actually broke your heart. So yeah, I mean, it's dramatic. It's quite dramatic as it is. So I won't go into too much detail about that. So, but I can only say just thank you for sharing the deck. So, thank you for opening up about it. So that's what I can say. But this one is a deck that's actually really like season 1 really. It's just season 1 from there. So and you can get a sense of nostalgia in there. But there's some other cards in here. So you may not have played Urger in there. And it did not manage to get expected at the time also because we have the set 3 card over here, which is look at top 7 cards, choose up to 1 card with the overdress ability from online with Brilliant to your hand and shuffle your deck. Earlier I was talking about Valiente. Valiente just basically gets plus 5k for each of these units' original dress, and the idea was that you would go into Virina or Virina Arcs and then you go into Valiente afterwards or so. Alright, and just have the ability to be able to have this card be a re-attacker. So yeah. The deck is as is because he only has that. So yeah. Again, we are not there's no criticism here. There's no criticism here. We're not talking about what he didn't have or what he could have. That's out of the question. What is most important also is just looking through why this deck break your heart. So we understand. And there's not much that I can really say here. So nor do I want to go to it also because there's not much to say here. It's a season 1 deck at the time. So and even though this deck itself also could stuff in other formal cards inside, they didn't manage to get any of the updated shields to assault. So I was playing with the start deck shields at the time. So yeah, I mean, it is what it is. So and yeah, There's nothing that I could really say or add to it, so that would that would do it. So the best that I can hope for is justice for it. So yeah, I mean, of course you shouldn't be changing it, so but maybe update it to current rules, deck building rules, I would say. But beyond that, so yeah, there's really not much to say here. There's not much to really say here. So right, we move on to Takeru's one, which is that so you might know me as an illustrator. I used to have a friend that I grew up with playing Vanguard together. We were close since second grade in junior high. She's always been in and out of form. The game, she is nice and have fun in the game, within the game. Sorry, English is not good. But recently around COVID era, I believe around 2022 or 2021, we usually hang out in the hangout spot and meet up with new people in the server group chat. And there's this one guy, he looked nice, and all of us are having fun with him playing Vanguard and stuff until the thing, the unimaginable thing that he do. Me and my best friend quit and traumatized from man, hang out in group call and even the card game itself. I was trying to my best to help her, but she was traumatized by looking at the card itself because it reminded her about what happened. She decided to quit the game and the deck. It stayed with me from then on, so we never talked to each other or never see each other again. So pretty deep story, so but yeah, I mean, I was hoping for something a bit more fun, so but I never said that you couldn't have anything that deep and in there. So but again, I can only say thank you for sharing it. So you with prompts like this, so anything that's personal that you're willing to share, right, I can only say thank you for opening up about it. So I'm a big advocate for personal health, so yeah, for mental health too as well. So yeah, so yeah, it's a Hexaorb deck. So it's been a while since I've touched Hexaorb. After I got Gram Gates, so I never really touched Hexaorb afterwards. Not because it was bad or anything whatsoever. My interest just realigned to something else. So my interest realigned to something else, and this was. And I had my moments with this deck. I honestly have my moments in deck, and apparently Armes too also had moments with his deck too. So as you can tell by the bouncing emote. So, so yes. Hexaorb Sorceress. When your drive track reveals a trigger unit, choose one of your regards and it gets plus 10k at the end of the turn. It's basically just double power. That goes into another one of your regards. If your persona wrote this turn, color plus 1, soul plus 1, reveal up to 1 critical or 1 front from your hand and put it at the top of your deck. And this unit gets plus 1 drive until the end of the turn. It is seeing cap 111 Owen with the same deck as she is. So yeah, because of Owen, which is I made it to 115k, so which is I don't know what I'm doing there. So yeah, so this one allows you to be able to try this unit, then you color charge 1 or soul charge 1 depending on what you needed at the time for this era deck. We're not talking about Aquamarine, so this is straight up just the old build as it is. So back up to set 2, I think. Set 2 you can see over there. Oh sorry, set 3 or so, which you can see with Tortoise. Basically Tortoise is just really what allows you to actually be able to get another copy of Hexaorb Sorceress, so you can actually set up for next turn as well. Dieglass Sorceress is where you get to look at the top card of your deck. Top 2 cards of your deck, and then you can set the top 2 cards there if you put it to the top of the deck in the entry order if you wish to. And you can call them out too as well. So if they are reinforcement cards, you can call them out. If they're trigger cards, you can actually just put them back at the top of the deck. So which is exactly what you want to do also, especially since you want to have Hexaorb Sorceress here. So and I would say that Turna, a very popular card now also for its color charge ability, was a support for the Hexaorb deck also. So yeah, because my deck is in my parents' house. No problem. No problem about it. So whether it's wrong or correct, so the story is the most important thing here. Lalarita, at the end of the battle, that your drive check reveals a trigger unit. Your Vanguard is Hexaorb Sorceress. Kawasan so plus 1, choose one of your other regards, stand it and retire it. So I don't play Lalarita in my deck because I struggle with the retiring of sorts. But for the most part, so this is basically just Hexaorb with Owen in there. Sorry, I didn't point out what Owen does, but Owen is basically look at the top 2 cards, choose on the third cards on them, put the top of the deck in your order, put the rest of the bottom in order, so you can set that up. Then when draw check reveals a trigger unit, you can count plus 1, this unit gets plus 10k at the end of the turn. So imagine, so you Hexaorb Sorceress, and you drive check revealed, a front basically, or we use crit at the time. Crit power to Owen, Hexaorb ability power to Owen, Owen's own ability hit plus 10k too, so that's a total of plus 30k there. Alright, how does she manage to counter charge? Soul charge again? Doesn't, so yeah, she doesn't. So yeah, so that's 30k for 1, and then we got 2, so it's another 60k. So with Persona right, that thing goes up to 20k, that's like 80k on its own. And we're not talking about any boosters whatsoever, just 80k on its own also, so long as you commit 2 counter blasters to it. So yeah, wasn't there a... yeah, it gets plus 1 drive. So plus 90k on that side, plus 90k aside with 4 color blasts in total, so to speak. It's an all-in situation. It's really an all-in situation. So 90k, then plus Persona, 110, then booster 8k, so 118k right there. So just coming straight after your Vanguard. Can be done. I did it. There we go. We had the story there. So yeah, I did that before. This was almost the same build. Maybe inspired by my build at the time or so, because I think I know who you're talking about. It's a do or die deck or so. Yeah, I just made it do or die or so, and this is what makes it a lot of fun or so. And I actually would try and compete with Hexaorb at the time or so, but of course Hexaorb being as wonky as it is or so, you don't get that Persona right, you can't really get that +1 drive, and you can't really set up the top card of your deck too as well. So yeah, not much I can really say here. So yeah, you teach her the deck or so. Yeah, exactly. Just taught her just how it runs basically. So yeah, maybe not. So we'll see. Considering that she doesn't play anymore and you know, stuff happens, so hard to say. Alright, let's go into the last one here. Alright, and this one is from Akihiro. Alright, this is my big brother's deck. The reason it broke my heart is because he left the house and never came back without telling any reason. I still blame myself every time I see this deck in locals or BCS or BSF and feel like he left because I'm doing something wrong. So all the past times, I'm sorry not okay about it, but I'm fine. Again, thank you for sharing, so it's quite personal. This is a Phantom Blaster deck. Alright. Big Brother deck, the only son deck. So it looks quite run of the mill for what you call it? For Phantom Blaster. So when this card is placed on the Vanguard circle, choose a card with Blaster is card name from your soul and you can call it the Vanguard circle, which in this case you will call Blaster Duck. But I see that you're reading with Vanguard Brave and Maron there. So you just basically retire the Vanguard Brave. This is similar to what I do in Grand Grace essentially. Which is retire that. And I don't have to compete any regards essentially. I just lose 1 soul. And then this unit gets Twin Drive for that turn. The 3 people from the same alumni high school, so right. Yeah, and then after that, then you call the card to Regard Circle, which is Blaster Duck itself. Blaster Duck also has the ability where it's placed, you can also choose the card +1 and retire another Regard. So at the time you have to set up by then, in order for it to actually be able to get +5k, but you +1 drive. Sorry, you just get the retire from there. So and then the second ability to activate is that if Regard was retired this turn, this unit gets +5k at the end of the turn. The additional ability, color +1, retire 3 regards, choose up to 2 opponents 2 regards, retire them, this unit gets +10k +1 crit until the end of the turn. It goes into Phantom Blaster Overlord, which is that if you have Phantom Blaster Dragon in the soul, which you will have because of the ride, then this unit gets 1 critical, so it's 2 critical. Then when this unit attacks, retire 2 of your opponent's regards. Choose a Blaster Duck from your soul or drop zone, call it the Regard Circle. And if your opponent's Vanguard is greater, that call card, this unit gets +10k to the battle. So you retire Blaster Duck, which is already out there, already on the field. And you got more copies in case you need more of them, just in case something else happens. Then after that, you can choose this as one of the regards to retire, and then you can call back the Blaster Duck from there. You also have other options too as well, which includes, I believe it is Brunhilde. So yeah, it's counted as 2 costs. A Regard is retired 2 regards, so if you don't have one side Blaster, you can just call another Blaster from there. So yeah, all very, very safe from there. Virulence Dragon, which is retired from the Regard Circle for the cost of your card, which will be Phantom Blaster Overlord or Dragon. All of units in Blaster in his card name will get +5k at the end of the turn, which would mean that the Vanguard itself and Blaster Up will get the power. I haven't seen you in a while. When it says based on Regard Circle during the main phase, you have a Vanguard Blaster in its card name, so +1. Look at the top 5 cards of your deck, choose up to 1 grade 2 or less unit card with Blaster in its card name from among them. Call it the Regard Circle, shuffle your deck. If you call, choose a card from your hand and discard it. It essentially just allows you to be able to fetch back any sort of Blaster decks that you have already on the field as well. So you can also use this to reinforce, or you can also use it to pay for the cost from Phantom Blaster Overlord. So retire, then it comes back again. So there's a lot of chain with it. So yeah. Geld, when this unit is retired for Regard Circle for a cost your card, look at the top 3 cards of your deck. Choose up to 1 card with Blaster in its card name from one, reveal it, put your hand and shuffle your deck. Put the rest of the bottom of the deck in any order. So yeah. Matcha, when this unit is placed on the Regard Circle, if you have a Blaster in its card name, so you can get a turn. Then so +1, retire another Regard, look at the top 5 cards of your deck. Choose up to 1 grade 1 or less unit card from one, shuffle your call it the Regard Circle and shuffle your deck. So this allows you to actually be able to call out Charon, which allows you to be able to rest this unit, and then you look at the top card, You can call it the Regard Circle. Then it gets retired at the end of the turn, which in turn all just pays for Phantom Blaster Overlord's costs, essentially. If you Vanguard, discard a card from your hand, look at top 2 cards of your deck, choose how to call it the rest, same thing. Same thing, essentially. And yeah, Maha can just call for Brunner, you can call for Charon, or you can call for this also, so if you just need more units to just kind of like get retired off also. Very old school Phantom Blaster Overlord deck. So none of the new cards or the promo cards that's in here as well. But of course, also this was more at the time also. So yeah, I can understand where this come from. Yeah, just feels a very solid deck. So, and again, for the last 3 of you guys, so the whole lot of you, this gang right here. So thank you so much for sharing personal stories. I can't imagine it'd be easy, but I appreciate just the same. So old school guy, so got it. So yeah, but otherwise, so this is just basically the prompt, so and it is expected also that somebody will give me a very deep story, and I expect it. So I can only say thank you for that. But yes, that is the prompt for this week, and all solid stories also, all solid stories that I've got a good idea of how it is, and just where things and just like see how things were, so and just witness your growth from what was meh, what was you know, and just let you guys just put the story to rest. I would say, if anything, this allows you guys to really put your stories to rest, and me personally, just to put Masques to rest, because that's what I need, because that's what I needed to do. So